All right. Welcome to the Way of Life Mindset Transformation live call. And I'm your host, Forrest Folan, and today is September 28th, 2016. We're so glad to have you because we have a very special guest, a guest star interview who is someone I think is just incredible. She's incredible in so many ways, from her giving nature to just her energy when you're around her. Her eyes and her smile just brighten up the room when she walks in. On first, and I hope not to make her feel uncomfortable saying this, but at first glance, this person, you would just think that she doesn't need to improve in any way. She's a perfect person. Like she comes across that way. But how many times in life do we see people that seem like they're just, they've got it all together and everything, but something is bothering them behind the scenes, or there's something troubling them in their life. Maybe they have limiting self-beliefs, or maybe they have some doubts about some things, or maybe some depression that they don't really show in the public, or any of those things. And so it was so interesting to learn about this person, and to have her train with us at the Way of Life Boot Camp and train with us in the mindset training. It just was so great just to have her around, first of all, but then to see her evolution, really finding out what she had been through. And on the surface, you would never notice, or never really think to notice, that she had been through so much in her life, but she has, and she's such a depth, I think, of wisdom, and a depth of just a down-to-earth person who's been through some stuff, who is here wanting to share it with you guys. And there's nothing better than that, in my opinion, is somebody that can just be straightforward and share her story. So please welcome, without any further ado, Lisa Garces. Garces.
Thank you.
So happy to have you, Lisa.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's surprising even today to hear, when you said when you first saw me, you saw the smile and, and the energy. And I was really good at faking that, I guess, because that is not how I felt on the inside. So, I grew up kind of like you don't, traditional, I guess I would say Hispanic household, but you don't let people see you cry, or that's a sign of weakness, or you just, so
right.
I grew up hiding my feelings, apparently very well. So,
yeah.
Backstory, I really in the beginning just came to you guys at first was because of, a friend had went and said, that she loved it, and that one thing you guys focused on was on mindset. And I had never heard that before. So I've done everything and anything. I've gone to trainers. I've done different boot camps. I just did so much. I've even gave up and did liposuction 2 times. I mean, you name, I took fen-phen. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And the problem
was, for those that don't know, fen-phen is pretty harsh, like a diet pill, correct?
Yeah, and it, they banned it right away. I mean, I lost I think it was 30 pounds in 1 month without doing anything.
Yeah.
But the bad thing was I was just so desperate. I didn't even care. And I remember even making a joke oh, well, at least I'll be skinny in my coffin,
Oh,
so
wow.
So it's I mean, it's just crazy when I look back at how bad my mindset was. And like I said, so I did like the idea. I was at the point where, like I said, I didn't know. I was like, my God, I've done everything and anything. And I yo-yoed a lot because, of course, like that, with if you lose 30 pounds, well, guess what? Then you gain it right back. I've done every diet in the world. And like I said, I've tried gyms and everything. But little did I realize that really it was the mindset that was going to really make the impact and be the answer, because, you can go, like I said, and hire a trainer and someone can tell you every day, okay, do this, but then what do you do when you get home? What do you do? You got to be able to really self-regulate yourself, and that's what I was missing. So it was just amazing to me, because when I when I did come to you, like you said, I wasn't happy. I was very unhappy. I was depressed. I was having bad anxiety where I was taking medication for, and like I said, I just hit it very well. But I did have anger issues. So, like, especially
I would never imagine you're like the nicest, sweetest person ever.
Oh, no. I mean, I could tell you crazy stories of stuff I've done. It's like my alter ego, I guess, but it's crazy. No, I had a bad temper. I mean, I used to get, beat up people, and I remember one time, like, this girl cut me off and, like, was just, and then had the nerve to flip me off, and I followed her in the parking lot, waited till she went in the market and keyed her car. Like, that's how bad I was.
That's straight. That's straight. Gangster. Dang.
Yeah, I hate to admit that, but so, I mean, that was me. But like I said, people just see me smiling and think, oh, like you said, oh, she has everything together. No, I was.
And you know what? If I could just interrupt you really quickly, because
sure.
I think everyone has something like that, where like something will provoke them, to such a degree that they'll either explode like a volcano, which I had a volcanic anger like that myself, so I can relate. Or they'll shut down completely and hide away and end up, balling up in a corner, crying or cutting themselves or getting something where they have to get it out. And since you said something that was so personal, I'll share one that I did. I took my acoustic guitar with a fight with my ex-wife one time. My acoustic guitar, and I smashed it over the kitchen table. One time. And but that's like that anger that just got out of control, that was being suppressed for so long.
Exactly.
And I didn't have any tools to deal with it. So
exactly. And like for me, it was either you hide it away, which is interesting, which we'll get into later about, and that's where the journaling really came in, because I never dealt with my feelings. So I just would brush it aside. And I remember people always telling me, like, oh, my gosh, like, let's say, like, a big breakup or my divorce, like, oh, my God, you just get over it like that. And I was like, well, yeah, I just don't think about it. But little do you know, you're not really dealing with the issues, at hand. So, so when I started, like I said, I loved your guys' energy, and I love that, like I said, you spoke about mindset and things like that. And overall, the people there, like I said, I've gone to different gyms, and they are just amazing and so supportive, and so you feel so comfortable. And that was, like, the first time I felt like I could open up or, like, with people. And then when you had the mindset training, I was like, okay, I got to do this. And like I said, immediately the change was so dramatic instantly. The first thing that really, was when you were saying, you got to pick your, oh my God, I can't even think of it, where it was, mine was like Angry Alice. You
had to pick your usual suspects.
Thank you. So,
and then for people that don't know what that is, basically the usual suspects are like basically states where you're in what's called bound nature, where it might be anger, it might be sadness, it might be rage, it might be confusion, doubt, anxiety, whatever it is, worry. But those are the things that keep showing up, and you may not even be realizing that they're showing up. But when you start journaling, so that's what you did, Lisa?
Yeah, so just starting a journal, like I said before, I've read self-help books, I've gone to counseling, and I've just thought, and they always, which is funny, would say do these exercise journal, but I would never. I'd be like, that's BS, like whatever, move on, Right. But it's amazing because, like, and you said, like, you got to do this, like, you have to, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. And it was just amazing what was coming out and the revelations that were coming out, like, immediately. And it's weird because once you find something out, like, immediately in your face, you can't ignore it anymore. So it was, it's there. So now what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with it? And that was so impactful. And, at one point, one of my friends was in my car, and she even made a statement, because long story short, my daughter, like, forgot we were going to concert. It was far, ended up forgetting the ticket. We were driving far. But normally she was like, thought I would, like, erupt or whatever. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, you handled it so well. And the reason was because you also taught us, like, the breathing techniques and how to recognize our bound nature. you know,
Right.
so you know ahead of time, okay, don't overreact. You know what I mean? So it's all, you've helped me control myself. And I mean, ever since then I can, and it's amazing. And what's crazy now is that I do it subconsciously now without even realizing it. So I even had someone at work, I didn't realize I was so stressed or whatever. And they were like, you look so calm and you're breathing funny. And I was like, huh? They're like, you like breathe in and then you like hold your breath and then you like go and like breathe out. I was laughing. I was like, are you kidding me? And it was the breathing technique you taught me that now it's so funny that it happens so natural. So it's like I don't hardly ever get worked up. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's
you train your body. You know, when I first learned the breathing, the instructor that taught me, he just said, hey, you'll be able to turn it on and off like a switch. And whenever you need it, you'll be able to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
And for those that are listening in on the call, it's triggering your parasympathetic nervous system state. You know, normally we're in our sympathetic nervous system, which is our go, flight or fight kind of mode. And when we do deep belly breathing from the diaphragm, which we teach in our mindset training program, you switch out of that state where you're in that fight or flight kind of mode. And there's a whole bunch of different side benefits to it, but one of them is just it brings you to the present moment right away, and it gets you out of the trap of reactionary thinking, which kind of like can snowball into reactionary things that you may or may not want to do because, you know, the subconscious mind is 6 seconds ahead of our conscious mind. So we're doing things. We're something as simple as reaching for the Ben & Jerry's ice cream in the freezer. You do that subconsciously a lot of the time, and you start eating the Ben & Jerry's, and then you look down and you see, why am I doing this? You ever do that? You ask yourself the question, like, why am I eating this ice cream?
Yeah.
You keep doing it. So that's a good example, but, you know, the breathing, I'm so glad that it worked for you.
Yes. For sure. And then another thing was which has become like my other Bible to me is the book, The Obstacle's the Way. Love that book. I have it on audio, so I constantly play it back and forth. And it just, you know, whenever I can, it constantly remind me. And so what was amazing, and like I said, I think all this seriously happened in like a month. I mean, it was just craziness how immediately it happened. And then with that book, basically what it is obviously saying like every obstacle is an opportunity for you to grow and just basically find a solution. So, you know, I used to be the one which I called that would jump on, I call it, excuse my language, the bitch wagon. You know, I'd be like where, you know, people at work would be bitching. I'd be like, yeah, you know, and I'd get sucked into it.
Yeah.
And it would take my mind off of work and being productive, and I would just be bitching. And you don't get anything done. And, you know,
it feels good. It feels good to bitch stuff for some reason, right?
It's because it's the negativity or whatever.
But it's nothing productive. It's not productive. Yeah.
Exactly. And so after reading that book, I was like, okay, so, you know, issues were happening at work. So I would go to my boss and stuff, be like, okay, I would already start thinking instead of bitching or okay, whatever, I'd be starting to think of the solution. Okay, how could we solve it or whatever? So I started going to my boss saying, okay, normally I would be like, oh my God, can you believe? So basically I'm in the mortgage industry, you know, and I would be like, you know, oh my God, can you believe this person or this underwriter? I was supposed to get these docs out, and oh my God, she did. Just be like bitching.
Yeah.
You know, and so now, let's say, for example, I'd go in and say, okay, you know, so-and-so couldn't, let's say, get the docs out or whatever. So how about my solution? We do this or whatever. And I did it for like, you know, several times. And they were like, and they started making comments like, oh my gosh, like, I wish everyone would start doing that. Like, just come at me with the solution instead of just, oh my God, it's time to fix it, or you know. So basically, what ended up happening is I ended up getting a big promotion.
Cool.
So,
that's awesome.
Exactly. So now they opened up a new division and had me run it now. So a new builder division at our bank. Exactly. So that's kind of why, like I said, so much positive stuff was just coming at me. Like you said, if you surround yourself with positive energy, you just start attracting it. But yeah, they saw that as such a great leadership tool. So that's what happened. You know, and then the unfortunate thing is it did take me away from, you know, because I work in La Jolla. So of course there was now, you know, I had to redo my routine or whatever. But again, I had the tools and things I need. And I still, you know, even though Wednesdays I wasn't jumping on a lot because I felt like I was on top of the world, like I could do anything. And that's when Gabby and Carlos came in with the Spartan Race and the Spartan team.
Right.
So I was like, sure, why not? You know, so.
So you jumped right into the Spartan Race. Had you ever done anything like that before?
Never in my life. I dislike running. It's so hardcore, though, that I thought it is so badass. Like, I'm turning 40. I want to be able to say, I did this and I'm 40. So,
yeah.
So that was my goal then. And like I said, with the people there at Way of Life and everything, I felt like I could do anything. It's such a great support system. So,
and I'm glad that you continued, you know, and you found some people to train with down in La Jolla, and I saw some pictures. They look like a great group. So I'm just so happy for you, and you'll continue to attract, you know, positive people like you are, and because of your mindset.
Exactly. I mean, it's just been amazing. Like I said, an amazing journey, but I could have not ever done it without you guys. I mean, if I, like the group of people I work out with now, if I would have went there straight first, I would have quit. There's no doubt about it. I would have quit because it's rare to find the support system that you have where you really dig deep. You don't just immediately jump people in, okay, let's just put you on a diet and here's your routine. You need to come here 5 times a week and here's your diet. Boom, go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You like really deep dive into everything. So this gym's great, but it's, you know, you already have to have everything together or whatever, because that's all it is. It's like you go, here's your workout. They're not going to baby you, whatever. Just go for it, you know? So, but
just go for it.
And I would have quit in like a week. I would have been like, there's no way. Like but again, because like I said, you've given me all the tools and I mean, I can't say enough. Like I said, I could go on and on and on. My relationships, I mean, my friendships. You know, one thing I also learned is there was, you know, at one talk we were talking about, you know, don't stretch yourself too thin either. And, you know, you got to be selfish sometime and make time to meditate, you know, and so basically make time for yourself. And I've really done that now. And because before I felt guilty about that, you know, I felt like, oh my God, I have to do this, that, or if people, you know, invite me here, oh God, I have to do that and this. Now I'm like, no, now I'm being selfish and taking care of myself first. And, you know, and it's been great. And you do see, you know, you have like another thing you were talking about, the, you know, finding the people that are, I think one was like the life sucker or something, and like
the energy vampire.
Exactly. And it's so true. And so, you know, when you get rid of these people.
For those that have never heard that term before, Lisa, can you describe what is the energy vampire? What does that person do?
They basically suck your energy out of you. I mean, you're like, you know, it's like you can be happy, whatever, and then they come and like, for example, I had a friend that would dump all her problems on me and be so negative and just, you know, and it just got to the point where it's like, you know, I'm not your, you know, it's, I don't know, it just, like you said, sucks your energy out. And when someone affects you negatively in that way and brings down your energy or whatever, it's like, you know, is it really important, you know what I mean, to have that person around? Because some people love the misery. Like they say, misery loves company. And, you know, and it's like, what, you know,
and that's
it's
the
amazing.
Thing is, like, you know, we all have that person in our life that maybe sucks our energy, or, you know, with gossip or, you know, bringing us down. But we, you know, we still love that person, and that person still loves us. That doesn't change. But, you know, it makes you more aware. Like, this person's affecting me. Like, they're affecting my mindset. They're affecting me on an emotional level. It's affecting, you know, my thought process ongoing. So when I'm around them, I do feel like an energy has been drained. So, you know, and we become like the 5 closest people that we hang around the most. So if we can be selective
in finding people that bring up our energy. And that's why, I paired up with Anthony Steele, because that guy, man, you're around him no matter what. He's bringing you up. He's always giving you a compliment. Some people are like, is this guy for real? Yeah, he is for real. That's just the way he is. Does he have his down days? Yeah, we all do. But, but for the most part, he's vibrating at that higher energy, as they say. And it's just, you'll notice the difference when you start hanging around people like that. So.
Oh yeah, and you're just drawn to that, So it's like it's and it's like, it's funny because like I said, now it's like more people are drawn to me or asking me questions and stuff, and it's just it's crazy. It's been a really good adventure. I mean, it's something though I would always say though that you must continue to work on and not. You know what I mean? It's just, it's good to constantly remind yourself. And that's why, like I said, I play that audio book over and over. I have like daily affirmation apps that I have, Tony Robbins, and I have the, I forgot her name from The Secret, but it's like I put an alarm on. So as soon as I wake up, that's the first thing I see. And then midday to just kind of remind me to keep me in check, and it's just.
Lisa Nichols?
It's just as Byron, B-Y-R-N, B-Y-R-N-E. Yeah.
Like Rhonda Byrne or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Rhonda, that's it, Rhonda, yeah.
And the thing that people should be aware of while listening to this is that affirmations are great, but if you don't have the mindset to actually take in the affirmations, you can have what's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is like when you hear these affirmations, or like there's these things that you could be working on, but inside your mind, your subconscious is actually kicking it out because it's not aligning with your identity in how you're looking at things. And it's all subconscious. So until you learn to bring that stuff to the surface, which we kind of cover in how we do our mindset training, you wouldn't know. And then you start to uncover that stuff, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're able to do these things like Lisa's talking about, which is, listen to Tony Robbins and read these certain books, and it just aligns with you subconsciously so much and resonates with you that you can apply it, and that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like something I would encourage and tell anyone and everyone to do, and it's just you have to invest in yourself. I mean, I think that's huge. I think like I tell my friends or whatever, look at you spend how much on your car, on your nails, on your head, whatever, and it's like, look at one thing I did that someone taught me a long, long time ago was like, look at 3 months of your bank statements and highlight and look at where your money goes. And man, I was like always at Target, but I didn't realize it. But when you look and you add everything up, it was ridiculous. It's like, I mean, there's ways for you to find things to really, for you to, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. And it's like, just invest in yourself. Like what better investment can you have? It was the best choice I ever made.
Going back to that topic too, Lisa, that you're saying, like it took a while for you to realize like it's okay to put time and energy into yourself, right? And,
especially because I'm a single mom, so it was like, any little time. I'm at work all day, so to me, I was already feeling guilty. So it's like I need time now for my daughter. So it's like any time for me, I felt selfish, and and I was just, and then I think especially most of them that they just are always caregivers. So it's always like they have to take care of other people, and they put themselves last. And now that I'm putting myself first, it's like it's amazing how much I can give back to my daughter or to my friend. It's just a better version of me, and it's like I'm more present, It's, and especially I'm in a better mood. I mean, so my daughter has seen an amazing, amazing change in me, and I think what a great thing that now I can be like such a good role model, and I try and teach her the same thing and try and teach her what I'm learning, and so it's just been great.
Oh, I love that. Yes. I mean, gosh, I mean, our kids and our family are going to be the ones that benefit the most if we can change internally. And, we all have our bad days, mindset or not, It doesn't make anything perfect, and it doesn't take away problems. But what it does do is it changes perspective. It changes the way you can handle it, deal with problems. They say life is 10% what happens to you and 90% the way you react to it.
Exactly. Great quote.
And that's where you get the control back. So, Lisa, is there anything else that you wanted to add before we open up the line, the live Q&A?
No, I mean, just thank you so much. Like, I have so much gratitude towards you guys and Way of Life that's why, like I said, I wanted to reach out to you and be like, because like I said, I know I couldn't be here without you guys. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Well, thank you, Lisa. I mean, just being on this call tonight has really pumped me up. I had quite a tough day today myself personally, and this has turned my day. It's made my day. It's made my week. So thank you so much.
Great. No, of course.
Yeah, this has been awesome to have you. And
thank you.
If you have any friends or if anybody's listening to this call that wants to get involved in the mindset training, you can go to www.wayoflifemindset.com to find out more. You can also just go to Facebook and just private message me directly. You can find me, Forrest Folen, FORREST FOLEN, and just private message me and say, hey, I heard that thing about that Lisa was doing. I want to know more information, and I'll contact you about it. But we're going to open up the line right now, live Q&A. Even if you don't have a question, definitely chime in and just say thanks to Lisa, because it takes so much courage, right, to get up and to be able to talk about your story like she did. And we really have a lot of respect for that. So we're going to go ahead and open up the line for questions or comments. Who's on the line? I can hear you breathing.
I know. Where are my Way of Life friends?
Yeah.
Hey,
somebody chime in.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
I hear people.
Hi. Who's that?
Who said hi?
Oh, Matt.
Oh, hey, Matt. What's up?
Hey.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Hi. Who was that? Who just said hi? Angel. Oh, hi.
Hi,
Matt and
Angel.
Angel. Hi, guys.
Matt and
Hi.
Angel. Wonderful husband and wife couple. What did you
I
guys? Did you guys get anything out of that interview?
Well, I really got something out of it because I had a kind of I would probably just call it a weak moment yesterday where I just kind of lost my cool. And so it's kind of good to hear this and kind of be like, yeah, I didn't really handle that the way I should have.
Well, that's okay.
Well,
I mean,
like he said, Forrest said, not everyone's perfect and everything, and it's but the great thing is, like you said, you realize it, and so, just move forward from it. So, but miss working out with you.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I know.
Awesome. Thanks for chiming in, Matt. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, Angel.
No problem.
Anyone else want to say hi?
Hi, Lisa. This is Martha.
Hi, Martha.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good. I haven't seen you in a little while. So just so everybody knows, I don't know Lisa very well, but we did get to spend an afternoon together working on vision boards.
Yep.
And it was a really awesome experience. I got to learn a lot more about Lisa, her background, where she come from, and where she's going, and the process she's going through. And I learned a lot. I'm super inspired. Thanks, Lisa.
Oh yeah, no, of course. It's like I said, it's pretty lethargic. It's the first time I've ever really opened up. Like, there's so many people that know anything about me. So it's just, but like I said, it's like I think when you get to a point too where you're just like, I don't know, like I'm to a point where I don't care, what others think, and I'm gonna pursue my happiness or whatever. And it's also that like I do hide it so well. So I wanted people to know, like, hey, like, I've gone through some. I've done, like I said, I've had anger issues. I had the depression, the anxiety, you name it. So it's not like, because especially for me, but it's like I don't want to hear from someone who's been in fitness their whole life and has this great, always been happy and chipper. And it's like, no, I can't relate to you.
So what are you trying to say?
We know your past, Forrest.
Yeah, no, I've been through all kinds of.
That was again
another
thing
stuff,
that,
man.
yeah, and that was another thing that attracted me to, to Way of Life and stuff, was reading your bio and stuff, and I was like, okay, great, because like I said, I can't, people who haven't been through the struggle, I'm sorry, they cannot say they can relate or understand.
Right.
So,
yeah.
That's like a rich person saying they know how it is to be poor. It's like, no, you don't. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you, Martha, so much for that, and thanks for being a part of, Lisa's journey with the vision board. That was awesome. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good time with Lisa. And also, just side note, I really appreciate you pointing out how hiding your feelings can sometimes be rooted in cultural norms or expectations, because I can relate to that 100%, and it's extremely difficult. Well, I don't have to tell you this, extremely difficult to venture out of that and still maintain your, well-rooted participation within your family or your culture or whatever it might be. So I get that. That's an ongoing struggle. Thank you for highlighting that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much, Martha. Thank you. We have time for one more. Anybody else want to do a comment or a quick hello?
Hi, Lisa. This is Rosinda.
Hi.
Rosinda.
Hi, Forrest. Yes, I'm here, finally. I remembered that it was Wednesday. I'm like, oh, and I saw that there was mindset. I'm like, I need to jump on this. Even though I'm cooking dinner, I need to jump on this. Because I missed the other mindset call-ins on Wednesdays. But no, Lisa, thank you. I can relate completely. I'm really good about having that facade. Everyone thinks that everything's perfect in my life. And no, I'm a good actress as well. People don't know. So I'm very relatable. And you just kind of helped remind myself that I really need to do the journaling. As busy as I am with 4 kids and a busy schedule and trying to get dinner and homework and spend time with the kids prior to them going to bed, it's tiring. And I need to get back into my morning routine of going to the boot camp in the mornings, because without that, I think I've kind of fallen off, and I need to get back on track. So you reminded me to, get back on into it. And so I really like how you've completely have taken that shift. And I want to be there as well. So you've inspired me.
And for sure. And you can. And what I did, because journaling was difficult for me too, and especially like that, juggling things and running around. So what I would do is just make a quick note in my, I don't know, so let's say I was driving and I got irritated or whatever, so I'll make a quick note, like, to reflect, or something happened at work or whatever, and to make a quick note so I could reflect on later, and then reflect back, like, okay, why did I really get upset? What's going on? Whatever. And so I would journal at night, and I would just, I guess when you give yourself, like, okay, I'm going to make sure, let's say, like, I give myself only 5 minutes, and then, just to write down something really quick, and you'll be surprised it may turn into 10, but just try and make it a routine. It was difficult during the day for me, so that's why, like I said, I just made a quick little note, whatever, so I could go back and reflect on it. And in a way, for me, it helped at night only because I didn't have so much stuff going on around me, so I was able to focus more and reflect more, and like I said, it really helped. And then, working out, I mean, honestly, I just said, because again, when they changed my schedule, I was like, oh my gosh, I work so far or whatever. I mean, someone told me, they asked me, well, how bad do you really want it? You ask yourself, how bad do you really want it? And the why, and I think that came from Forrest, the why, like, why did you start? Why? Remember the why. And I think Forrest had us before also put it on a card, but so, I actually now, believe it or not, and if you would have told me I would have been doing this ever, I would have said you're out of your mind, but I wake up at 4 a.m. now. I wake up at 4 a.m. My daughter's not awake. I get it done. And a good, so it's like, I know Way of Life class isn't open yet at that time. But I mean, if you really want something so bad, you'll find a way. And what's weird is, not weird, but what surprised me too is how supportive some of your family can be. Like, I was worried about my daughter. Like, my daughter, like, again, it's the guilt thing. I didn't, I couldn't take her to school anymore, like, but I wanted to work out, and, and that sounds selfish to me before, but, it was fine. I was like, okay, I got to do something for myself. And, I talked to my daughter, and she's like, no, Mom, go for it. Like, so it's like I was worrying about stuff that I really didn't need to. It was just my own guilt I had put on myself. And she's like, no, go for it, Mom. No, the neighbor can. Yeah, and like I said, and she's seen such a huge difference, and we have such a better relationship because of it, because I'm more calmer. And, I don't want to say I resented her, but it's like, sometimes as a parent, I think we're like, oh, these kids, like, I got to do laundry, I got to do this, I got to do that. And it's like, and it's weird that, I don't think we really allow ourselves to have our kids help us, and say, hey, so I mean, I had to tell her, like, hey, Jada, I'm really doing this. I'm focused on myself. Like, I'm tired. I'm getting up so early now. So which means now I have to go to bed even earlier. So, so I'm like, I need help with certain things now, whatever. And, and she's helping me out. So it's, I think we also are, I think a big part too is we're afraid to ask people for help.
Yeah.
So, and that was another thing that I learned. Like, I would have never asked my neighbor to help me because that's again, me. It's like, she's my responsibility. I should have to get her to school. But again, and it's like, it turned out, which is funny because I've never asked, she drives her granddaughter to school, the same school every day. So she was like, of course. Yeah. So, and again, I would have never known if I've never would have asked when I had a simple solution here this whole time. And I've been struggling for several years taking her to school. So, you know what I mean? So it's like we also need to allow other people to help us.
Yeah.
Wow,
Thank you.
We can write a book on just that topic right there. Allowing other people to step in and help, because how many times do we just take it upon ourselves to tough things out? And I do that too all the time. And so thank you for the reminder with that one.
I would feel guilty before. Yeah, because I would feel guilty if I had someone help me. I would actually feel guilty about it. So, and again, it's like, why did I feel guilty? So it's like I said, when you journal and you start looking into things, and it's, I think at the end of the day, we're just so hard on ourselves, and we need to learn to not do that.
Well, that's awesome.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Lucinda.
You're welcome.
Right. We're going to put this call replay. We'll have it available for the next 24 hours. And thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
It's been an incredible honor and a pleasure. And really, you made my night. You made my week. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, I'll come. I'm sure we'll be around. I'll be popping in on Wednesdays.
Nice. Yeah, keep popping in. Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Thank
bye.
you, everyone. Okay. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.